Welcome into your 15-minute weather. I am meteorologist John Ziegler. Courtney Aiken is going to be back Monday and help me out, and we're probably going to have some weather to talk about. I'm going to give you a quick rundown for the 7-day forecast, but as we're going into the weekend, if you guys want to follow me for any severe weather updates, or maybe Sunday we get severe storms, I'm always posting. I go to meteorologist John Ziegler. I use Facebook, I don't know why, old man Facebook. Follow me there. So what you need to know this weekend, and then we'll get into the nerdy stuff, is today is a chilly start. So I got a jacket on. It's been in the 30s this morning, maybe 40 degrees now, a little bit cooler. Again, it's been cool in the backyard. Saturday, 36 in the morning, 54 is all we're going to be able to muster up by the afternoon. So it is going to be a rather cool Saturday. Actually been trending Saturday down a little bit. It looks a little cloudier. I do not have it a washout. Maybe the afternoon we see a few showers. I think 11 a.m. to 5 o'clock. Don't be surprised if middle of the day we see passing showers. Let's call it damp. I think that's the word, damp. And a little cool. Sunday, there's a chance for storms in the morning. To me, models are not screaming a lot of rain. So while there are chances for storms, it's just that chance. Now, I look at all kinds of models, but I also like to look at the National Weather Service, and they're at 80%, right? Well, I think that's a little bit too high. Percentages right now are way too high on this for Sunday. I just think it's going to be a lot drier than they're actually showing. Right now, they've got 100% chance of rain Saturday night, and I see that, and I'm like, okay, I do think it's going to rain, but how much rain is the question. I think the best chance for rain is afternoon Saturday night, southeast of the metro. And then Sunday, I think we're going to clear out fairly quick. So don't be surprised if Sunday in the middle of the day we get sunshine and we start baking. 74 degrees Monday. Again, Monday is going to be our better chance for severe storms. And as you're going to see, we are going to issue a Care 11 weather impact for that day. Tuesday, 63 and cooler. Rain showers on Wednesday at 64 and 70 on Thursday. All right, let's go into more of the nerdy stuff going on here as we go into what is going to be a pretty active weekend. Now, this morning, quiet. What you have here, let's just draw on here. You have high pressure. We have a good amount of high pressure here. And you have to remember that this is going to linger tomorrow. So high pressure has been clearing things out dominant. Today is finally a sunny day, but I want to talk about, I already did the pre-drawing. If you don't watch the 15-minute a lot, I like to draw on here, but I pre-drew this one. So I talked about it yesterday, but again, if you missed yesterday, we'll talk about it again. The trough is developing out west. Now, technically a trough is a low. Low, you think about energy. It's got a counterclockwise rotation to it, and if you took this off underneath the low, you can see the swirl. So yes, you're seeing some rain start to show up in California. This is very common. California, active, means that we're all going to be active. Now, there's two things that have to happen here. One, you got to spin off these little low pressure centers. We call them short waves. So these, I called them yesterday the minions, and I like that. So if this is like Papa Bear or like the evil alien, it spins off these little minions called short waves. Now, we get impacted by the short waves. We call them low pressure centers. So at the surface, we get lows. You don't really feel the impacts from this thing. Now, there are impacts, but it's different than the little short waves. Now, what this does is it actually projects out energy across the country. And when you look at this here, this is a very common spot for severe weather. So the low pressure center is moving along the jet stream. Remember, we call the jet stream the highway for lows. Now, we are already starting to see some activity here in Wichita, Springfield, Missouri. Common spot for severe storms, and they're going to be in the thick of this all week long. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to take you day by day, and we're going to start looking at the severe threats as they progress through the week. But I'll explain this quickly here for folks that didn't see this and what's really happening. So you have high pressure that develops down in Atlanta. Have you been watching the Masters? Yeah, it's nice. Remember yesterday we talked about it? Well, what's happening is it's pushing the moisture over here. So the high pressure pushes away. So what you don't realize is lows suck in everything like a magnet, and the high pushes everything away from it. That's why it's sunny underneath the high. Now, the high pressure is pushing the moisture that way. So that's why it's dry in Atlanta. Well, you know what happens to the low? If the low is sucking it in, what happens as the low starts to travel up the jet stream, it starts to pick up that moisture that high pressure started to push away. So the high pushes away the moisture and the low sucks it up. And that is what creates the perfect scenario for a collision of severe storms. So again, it's this battleground that you can see. And yes, I've circled the area, and go figure, it's North Texas, Oklahoma, Northwest Arkansas, Southwest Missouri, Kansas, Iowa, Southern Minnesota. What is this called? This is Tornado Alley. This is why it's Tornado Alley. And yes, Southern Minnesota is in Tornado Alley. So is Southwest Wisconsin. But not Northern Wisconsin, not Northern Minnesota. It goes right there. And that's where you see most of the tornadoes. I lived in Wisconsin, in Madison. No, we had our tornadoes in Madison. But I could tell you, after being there 8 years, 10 times the amount of tornadoes were down in Platteville than there were in, the Madison area. So it's not that they didn't get it, but understand how this really works. So let's go to the progression of this here. We're going to go to day to day, and you will see one day at a time here. We're going to go SPC. So here is today. Today's threat, obviously very low threat for severe weather. That's going to change. So let's go to tomorrow. So now you start to see the progression take shape. So this is Saturday. I didn't write on here Saturday, but it is. If I was doing a show, I'd put Saturday. So you can see Texas, you start to see it starts. Again, the jet stream is not just sitting here. It's actually in development, so it's actually going like this, really slowly moving. The Popolo, and it's the little shortwave that'll start here, and then eventually go here, and then eventually go here. So it's going to start west, and you can see that getting up to Omaha. Nothing incredible yet. Now let's go to Sunday. Okay, now you see. Now Sunday, and they probably will issue this a little bit more, but you have Wichita, Oklahoma City, Dallas. This is where the severe storms are going to start. And this is very common. Now, this is not a setup for a tornado outbreak. This is a setup for lots of rain, to be honest with you. And I think it's just so much moisture. It's almost too much moisture, and it's just going to create a lot of rain. But yes, you will see some tornadoes in here. You're going to see a lot of wind. You're going to see a lot of hail in those thunderstorms, of course, Oklahoma down to Wichita, down to St. Angelo. Now, if we go up here to Minnesota, you will start to see Sunday. We have a threat. The threat to me is late Saturday night into Sunday morning, okay, because we'll talk about Monday's chance on here too, but Sunday, and you have to also look at this. What's going on up here? Okay, straight up snowpack. This is snowpack. So, of course, the thunderstorm threat's it could go up here, but realistically, so I saw yesterday the models were here on Monday, and they're going to trend south because the models don't realize there's snow and it's still winter up here. So they come up, but then they actually end up drifting south a little bit. So that's why you always want to focus on southwest Wisconsin, southeast Minnesota, southern Minnesota, and all of Iowa. But yes, Sunday we do have a chance, our first real chance for storms. All right, we'll kind of do a little. Here's today. You get the idea. It's nice, 53. Here's the weekend in depth. But really, I want to, and we can go back to this, but I want to jump right to the severe threats. So this is Sunday. Remember, we just talked about that. Now, I want to show you Monday. Now, I'll also explain how this works. It's a little bit confusing. Since we haven't been here yet this year, the SPC, the Storm Prediction Center, down in Oklahoma, they issue all of this stuff. We have no control over it. Now, the local National Weather Services have some impact on this, but it's mainly the SPC issues this. When you're 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 days out, they go by percentages. When you're 3 days out, so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that's when you get the marginal slight enhanced risk, right? But when you're more than that, so Monday, you'll only get a 15%, 30%. What the heck does this mean? It just means the probability of you getting a severe thunderstorm, okay? But being in the business, the National Weather Service, or the SPC, they don't like to issue on the 4 to 8 day. If they do, it's a higher impact, more widespread. So we know that Monday is actually more significant than Sunday. Although if you look at Sunday, then you see, okay, there's a marginal risk. So wouldn't Sunday be the day? Well, Monday doesn't have a chance to get these levels. Now, what do I expect Monday to get? I expect a slight risk in southern Minnesota. An enhanced risk will probably end up in northern Iowa. And that's common for this time of the year. So it's yellow now, but don't think of it as slight. Just understand that this still could be enhanced. But it does tell you where we're expecting this. And like I said, my focus is always down here. Rochester, Mankato, La Crosse, Southern Minnesota. It's not that we can't get it, but it's still pretty early in the year. Let's take a look at temperatures, and this will give us an idea of where the severe storms are going to be. So today, absolutely stunning. But why does Saturday kind of look meh? It's because that front is starting to show up here. You can see the temperatures get stuck in the 40s. It's because the warm front is sitting overhead. Now that's going to drive cloud cover, and it will drive actual rain. Not a lot of rain, excuse me, but we are going to be seeing rain. So let's pull this through very slowly. Look what happens here at 11 o'clock at night into Sunday morning. What do you notice? This is what we call forcing warmth. You're not warming up yet at this time of the year. It's not summertime. You're not warming because of the sun. You are warming because of that low. So yes, the sun helps, obviously. I'm not saying it doesn't. It matters a lot. But to see rapid warmth, you've got to drive it. Our high temperature Saturday is going to happen at midnight or 11:59 Saturday into Sunday morning. This baby over here is forcing the temperature up. So when you force something up, Mother Nature gets angry. The equilibrium gets thrown off. So if you warm it up, what happens? Tornadoes, storms, thunderstorms, that's what happens. Not like that in the summertime. Watch that temperature just rip. I mean, look at Sunday morning. By the time we get to 11 a.m., 70 degrees. Whoa. I mean, this is just wild. Super warm. Now, I didn't draw this up. Let's go in here actually. I didn't change this. I didn't edit this one yet. So I'm going to edit this and we're going to draw this into Monday. So we're actually going to do this together. So now I got to take this down. We're going to take it there. We're going to take it here. And we'll take it here and we'll draw the and I want to make sure that I draw it accurately for you. Okay, there's the boundary. Okay, so it comes up. Watch this thing start to sink back down. Well, these didn't. Hold on. See, this is the stuff that I have to do. You get to watch me actually work. So I'll make that. All right, there's your low. So no, why is Monday more significant? Why would Monday, let me go back a little bit. So why is Monday more significant? It's because the boundary is closer to the Twin Cities. So now you're starting to think, okay, maybe we're having a chance for the storms. Because if you're actually too warm, it is a thing. You're too warm, you might not be close to the boundary. Hold on one second. All right, so there we go. Bemidji at 59, 65 in Brainerd, 70 in St. Cloud, 79. Now, where would the severe weather like to be? Again, yesterday I showed this exact map. But the warm front yesterday was here, and now it's here. Could it trend further south? Absolutely. Will it likely? Probably. What I'm looking for is right there. See that boundary, 71 to 79? See how it's in the right? Okay, right now it's in Scott County. But that's where severe storms will be, wherever that is. And that's where the rotation is, and that's where the concern will be. Right at the peak of the warmest spot before it turns cold is the most severe spot. Okay, so it's not and it gets severe all the way through this thing. This is what we call the triple point. But northern Minnesota, if you're in this, you are not in the severe threat. So understand that. Now, we know today's quiet. Look at the showers tomorrow. Starts at 3. I want to go back on that, but I think this is key. Look at 5 a.m. here Sunday morning. You see that threat for rain? It's pretty likely there at 5 a.m., especially south of the viewing area, and then it clears, and we go into clearing mode by Sunday afternoon and Sunday night. So Sunday looks pretty good, but that morning threat, watch out. So late Saturday into Sunday, there's some storms. That's why we have morning rain on Sunday. Monday's our weather impact alert, 74 degrees, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, again, temperatures fall off a bit. We will see temperatures in the 60s most days here, and we will have some cooler weather. But regardless, we've kind of entered in spring, which is good news. Again, if you guys need any more weather updates over the weekend, you can either find us here on KARE 11 Plus, or you can follow me at Meteorologist John Ziegler on Facebook.